Still cold, still a little scratched. The original keys to 62 Willow Street. Mara walked in behind me. You still keep those? Yeah. Why? They remind me of what? I ran my thumb across the worn edge. That even when people give you nothing, you can still build everything. She leaned on the doorway. You ever think about going back? No, not even to drive by. I did once, I said. The porch was painted blue. The new owners planted roses. Roses? Grandma hated roses. Mara laughed. She said they looked like regret. Exactly. Later that week, Joe stopped by our office. You still keeping that desk drawer locked? I grinned. You know I am. She shook her head. Sentimental landlord. Who knew? What's the news? The tenant in Unit to Be wants to renew. You good with that? Yeah. They pay on time every month, and they stay. She sat across from me. You've changed. Is that a compliment? It's a mirror. I raised an eyebrow. How so? You're still the same kid who counted quarters to buy textbooks, she said. You just count buildings now. That night, I sat on the balcony with Mara. The city lights blinked across the skyline like Morse code. You ever think about Rachel? She asked. Sometime she'll ever reach out again? No, Logan. He sent a Christmas card once. Just his name, no note. Her phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Hey, I called out. You forgot your phone. I'll grab it in a sec, Rachel said from the hallway. I looked down. The screen was unlocked, Spotify open. A playlist titled Us, But Better. I clicked. First song, All of Me. Then You Make It Easy. Then Sweater Weather. Songs I'd never heard with her. Songs we never danced to. I scrolled. Every track screamed something I wasn't. She walked in. What are you doing, listening? I said, holding out the phone. To your new soundtrack. She glanced at the screen and froze. Don't go through my stuff. Wasn't locked. That doesn't mean who's the us in us, but better, Rachel. She snatched it back. You're being ridiculous. Am I? They're just songs. Then why do they feel like confessions? She turned. I'm not. Doing this again, I followed her down the hall. You never made a playlist for me? I didn't think I had to. But Derek gets one. She whipped around. He didn't ask for one. Did you offer? Her jaw clenched. This is exactly why I stopped trying to talk. No. You stopped talking because you were too busy making soundtracks for someone else. She walked into the bedroom and shut the door. That night, I lay on my side of the bed. She faced the wall. Are we done pretending? I asked. She didn't answer. You used to pull my arm over you when you couldn't sleep? Silence. You used to hum in your sleep. You don't anymore. Still nothing. I miss the version of you that knew how to fight for something. She whispered. I'm tired. So am I. Next morning, I stood by the door, sneakers on. Going somewhere? She asked, running. Since when? Since last night. You're not a runner, Ethan? Maybe I'm becoming one. She raised an eyebrow. You sure this isn't just a guilt trip? I looked her in the eyes. Guilt usually comes from doing something wrong. She didn't blink. Enjoy your run. I didn't know where to start, so I just ran street to street, block to block. I stopped 2 miles in hands on knees, lungs burning. Not bad for a guy running from heartbreak. Someone called out. I looked up. A woman in track gear stood nearby, arms crossed, gray streaks in her ponytail. Who are you? I asked Coach. Marla, you've got pain in your legs and fire in your gut. Is that obvious? She walked over. Do you run like you're chasing something? I'm not chasing, I said. I'm escaping. Same thing, different shoes. The next evening, I returned to the track. Coach Marla waved. Didn't think you'd come back. I didn't think I would either. What's your goal? Survive. She nodded. Then run like your life depends on it. I jogged. I stumbled. I got back up, Marla shouted. That's it. That's heartbreak fuel. At home, Rachel sat on the couch, scrolling her phone. How? Was your run? She asked flatly. Good, I replied, cleared my head. She nodded. That's healthy. Yeah, running helps. So does being honest. She looked up. What do you want me to say? That you're in love with someone else I'm not. You made him a playlist, Rachel. They were just songs. Then why do I feel like a ghost in my own house? She stood. Because you want to. You choose to feel left out. No, you made that choice. I'm just living in the wreckage. Later that night, she brushed past me to the bathroom. I caught her arm, Rachel. She stopped. I loved you. Every dull moment, every slow morning. I still would have chosen you. She looked away. Don't think I can say the same. Slept on the couch, in the dark. I stared at the ceiling, her playlist echoing in my head. You make it easy. No, she made it hurt. The next morning I laced up again, back already. Coach Marla said, this time I'm running for me. She smirked. That's more like it. Yoga retreat. I asked, raising an eyebrow. Rachel zipped up her bag. Yeah, 3 days. No phones, no distractions, just detox. With your gym group. She nodded. A few of us, all girls. Girls, I repeated, double quotes. Yes, Ethan, you want the names? No, just curious. She sighed. You don't trust me. I stared at her. You gave me reasons not to. I'm trying here. So am I. That's the problem. She looked at me like I was a burden. I'll be back Sunday. Take care. She left by noon. I stood in the living room for a long time. Then I walked to the bedroom. Something pulled me there some. Silent dare from the universe. I opened the closet. Her clothes were neat, my side untouched. But there, between two of her jackets, hung a black HOODI. It wasn't mine. Wasn't hers either. I pulled it down. Heavy worn, faint cologne. Inside the collar, stitched in red thread. DK Derek Kellen. I sat on the bed, hoodie in my lap. I didn't cry, didn't scream. I just took a photo, sent it to myself, labeled it. Proof I'll never show her. That night, I messaged Liam, can I crash for a few nights? He replied instantly. Doors open, beers cold. You sure you're okay? He asked when I arrived. I dropped my bag by his couch. Define okay? He handed me a drink. You look like a guy who found a ghost in his house. Close. Found a hoodie, his. I nodded. Monogrammed and everything. Liam shook his head. You're gonna confront her? No, why not? 'Cause I already know the answer. So what now? I looked down at my shoes. I run. Next morning, I texted Coach Marla. Can we double the training this week? She sent back, only if you're ready to bleed a little. At the track, she blew the whistle hard. Move, Ethan. Pain is proof you're still alive. I gasped through the run. Is that a quote? It's a fact. And you're not dead yet. I collapsed on the turf. Not sure that's true. She tossed a towel at me. You're stronger than this. Whatever's eating, you'll burn it out. Here that night, Rachel texted, miss you. The retreat's beautiful. Hope you're resting. I didn't reply. Day 2. More sprints. More silence. Coach shouted again. I nodded. Think of what's behind you. An outrun. I ran harder, faster. Every step a scream I couldn't say aloud. Back at Liam's, he asked, you still got the hoodie? In my bag? You want to burn it? No. Then why keep it? To remind me who I used to trust. Rachel called that night. I let it ring. Liam looked over. That her? Yeah. You gonna pick up? No. Something's up. She already does. On Sunday, I went home. Cheech was already there. Hey, she said. Hey, she hugged me. I let her. You okay? She asked. Long weekend. Yeah, the retreat helped. Did it? She paused. You seem distant. I went running every day. That's good for your head. For everything, she smiled faintly. I missed you. I nodded. I know. That night, she unpacked. I watched her pull clothes from the bag. New sports brass, essential oils, a yoga mat that looked untouched. I stood by the closet. She walked over. Looking for something? No. She reached past me. The hoodie was gone. She'd noticed. You want to talk? She asked. No. Anything bothering you? Not tonight. She stepped back. Okay. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. She faced the wall again, and I wondered how many more lies she had folded between her clothes. Do you wish they'd said more? I exhaled. I used to, and now, I don't need them to say it. I lived it. A week later, I spoke at a youth conference. They gave me 20 minutes. I spoke for 18 DOT, talked about couches that become classrooms, about quiet kids who never got picked, about how revenge looks like success, but healing looks like peace. Afterward, one student approached me. Do you really believe people change? She asked. I nodded. I changed, even if their family doesn't, especially then. She smiled. Cool. Mara and I bought a small property near her old school. Affordable housing, she said. But decent. We'll furnish it with what budget? Whatever we have left after kindness. She kissed me on the cheek. You're such a softie. You married one? Not yet, she teased. Working on it. I made tea, Rachel said, setting a cup on the table. I didn't touch it. She sat across from me, hands wrapped around her own mug like she needed something to hold. I want to talk. I said nothing. She cleared her throat. No, you've been distant. Still nothing. She leaned in. Can you just look at me? I looked up. Her eyes were calm. To calm, I don't know how to say this without it sounding cruel, she began. Then don't try to soften it, I replied. She blinked. Okay. I feel trapped. I nodded once. Go on. You and I, we used to be this thing, this team, and now it's like, I don't know, like the walls are closing in. You're saying I suffocate you. I'm saying I don't know who I am anymore when I'm with you. I leaned back. You're with him? I'm not with anyone. I tilted my head. Then whose hoodie was in our closet? She looked away. It's not what you think. Don't lie. She exhaled. It just happened. Like a thunderstorm. Like something I didn't expect. You expect loyalty? Yes. But you gave me betrayal. I didn't mean to hurt you, but you did. She looked up. Derek, he listens. He sees me, and I don't. Not in the way I need. I stared at her. Then why not just leave? I don't want to throw everything away. You already did. She stood. You're angry. No, I said. Anger needs energy. I gave you all of mine. Didn't plan for this. You keep saying that. It's like it excuses the damage. I didn't fall in love with him. Then what did you fall into, Rachel? A temporary escape. She bit her lip. It was just a phase. A phase, yes. Like growing out of a hobby. A haircut. That's what I was to you, she whispered. I didn't mean it like that, but you said it like that. We sat in silence. I finally said, Do you love me? She didn't answer. That's enough, I murmured. Later that night, Liam called. You talked to her. She talked. And called what she did a phase. Oof. Yeah. What did you say? Nothing. I just listened. That's it? That's all I had. You're being too calm. What's the point of yelling? Closure. No. Closure's when you stop looking at the door. Next morning, Ira and Coach Marla met me at the track. You look like a man who didn't sleep. Didn't? Want to take it out on? The pavement, please. She blew the whistle. Run like she's watching. I sprinted halfway through. I bent over, gasping. Coach handed me water. You're thinking too much. She called me a phase. Ouch. Like I was something she could outgrow. She looked back and regret it. I don't want her regret. Then what do you want? To be so far ahead she never catches sight of me again. Coach grinned. Now that's fuel. Night, Rachel was reading on the couch. I walked past. You're not going to say anything, she asked. No. You're really just going to be cold. I'm being quiet. That's different. It feels like punishment. No, Rachel. It's just distance. The same one you created when you gave him a part of you that wasn't mine. She closed her book. I made a mistake. You made a choice. I was lost. So you found him. I found attention, affection. You could have found that here? I didn't know how to ask. You didn't even try. She started crying. I don't want to lose you. You already did. Still love you. You love what I was. What does that mean? I'm not standing still for you anymore. Coach's voice echoed in my mind. Let her watch you run away. From her. I tied my laces and walked out the door. You sure you're ready for this? Coach Marla asked, tightening the laces on her stopwatch. I stretched my legs. Doesn't matter, I'm doing it anyway, she grinned. That's the spirit. The 1OK City Run was buzzing. Runners jogging in place, spectators crowding the barricades, music thumping from some sponsor tent. My heart raced before the gun. Ever fired? Then I saw her Rachel standing at the edge of the crowd near the starting line. I blinked. Derek was beside her, sunglasses on, arms crossed, like he owned the pavement. Marla saw the flicker in my eyes. Them? Yeah, gonna. Let it get in your head. No, I muttered. I'll let it push me forward. Racers, take your positions. I stepped up to the start line. Rachel's eyes met mine. I didn't flinch, the gun fired, and I ran. 1 mile in. Lungs already burning. 2 miles sweat dripping. Legs stiff by mile 4. I wasn't racing the clock. I was racing every memory. Her laugh echoing down the hall. That's stupid. Playlist. The hoodie in my closet. His hand on her back at the gym. I clenched my fists and pushed harder. By mile 6. I felt like collapsing. Coach Marla's voice rang in my head. You're not running from her. You're running past her. Cross the finish line, half to Z. Volunteers handed out medals, water bottles, bananas. I waved them off. All I wanted was air. Then I saw him, Derek, clapping slow. Not bad, man. You held your own. I wiped sweat off my face, didn't realize we were racing. He smirked. We always were. I turned. What was your time again? 53 flat? Coach called out. You clocked in at 51. I smiled. Looked like I won something. Rachel stood a few feet behind Derek. She said nothing, just watched. That evening, stopped by the gym cafe. Avery leaned over the counter. Didn't think I'd see you today. Didn't think I'd walk again today, I said. She laughed. You looked intense out there. Your wife came? Yeah, I saw. She didn't cheer. I wouldn't have heard it anyway. She just stared, like she regretted something. I stayed silent. Avery handed me a cold bottle on the house. Thanks. By the way, she added, you beat Derek. I know. When I got home, Rachel was at the sink washing dishes. She didn't say anything. Neither did I. That night, Liam texted, saw the results. Did you smoke that dude? I replied too. Minutes ahead. He sent back a trophy emoji. Coach Marla called, proud of you. Thanks. You know what that race was? A warm-up. No, it was your goodbye. I lay in bed that night, body aching but chest lighter. And for the first time in months, I didn't dream of her. The longer I ran, the less I thought about her. The playlist stopped haunting me. Her perfume didn't live in my pillow anymore. Every monologue felt like closing a door I should have shut a long time ago. You're faster, Coach Marla said, glancing at her stopwatch. You're not just running anymore, you're flying. K-May, I'm not chasing her anymore. Good, because she's not worth the blisters. Liam handed me a water bottle after our weekend run. You checked her socials? Nope. Not even once. Not even tempted. He smirked. Growth. Then one night just past midnight, my phone buzzed. Rachel. I stared at the screen for a solid minute. Then I answered, Ethan. Her voice cracked. What's going on? She sniffled. I know I shouldn't have called. You're crying. I didn't know who else to talk to. I leaned against the wall. What happened? It's Derek. What about him? He's different, controlling, jealous. He checks my phone, asks where I am constantly. I stayed silent. I thought he cared, but it's like I traded peace for chaos. You did, she let out a sob. I miss the quiet. I miss our mornings. I rubbed my eyes. Rachel, what do you want from me right now? I don't know. I miss your calm. Never made me feel small. You made me feel invisible. I was wrong. I know. She went quiet. Then softly, do you hate me? Oh, I just don't want to carry you anymore. I didn't mean to ruin us, but you did. Can't we try again? I exhaled slowly. I'm training for a marathon. This call is a setback. What? I'm focused. This brings me back to a version of me I've outgrown. I didn't expect that. Didn't expect betrayal. Yet, here we are, she whispered. I still love you. I looked. At the clock, 12:14 a.m., you love the memory of who I was. But I've changed. I see that. And you waited until you broke it all to notice. Silence again. I have to sleep, I said. Okay, good night, Rachel. Click. I stood there for a moment, phone still in hand. Then I placed it face down and went to bed. No tossing, no replaying her words, just sleep. The next morning, Coach Marla met me at the trail. You look different, she said. I am. You run last night, sort of. Run away from something. Ran through it, she smiled. Today we go farther. Let's do it. It's 10 miles, my longest. Stretch yet? She didn't text again. I didn't wait for it, and it felt better than any finish line. Citywide marathon 6 weeks out, Coach Marla said, holding up the flyer. Open to all. I stared at the paper. Not ready. I've never run more than 10 miles. No need to believe yet, she said. Just sign up. Later that night, I stared at the online form. Full name. Age group. Emergency contact. I hovered over the button. Then I typed Ethan Callan. Clicked register. Done. Next day at work, Jordan leaned over my cubicle. You really signed up for the marathon? How'd you know? I followed the community board. Saw your name. You're stalking me. Only a little. Proud of you, man. I chuckled. Thanks. She grinned. Bet your ex saw it too. An hour later, my phone buzzed. Rachel. Text. You're really doing this? Ply. Every damn mile. Coach Marla didn't go easy. Again, she barked, blowing her whistle. I bent over, gasping. You're trying to kill me, no? She said. Trying? To resurrect you? That's dramatic. So's betrayal. Now run. Sophie showed up at my apartment with containers. Liam said, you've been eating air. Air's low calorie. She laughed. This is chicken, rice, and veggies. Fuel, not punishment. I took the bag. Thank you. She leaned in. She doesn't get to break you and starve you. I'm fine. You're healing. That's different. 3 days later, Kara called. Got your name on the flyer. Small town, nothing stays quiet. I'm proud of you. Why? Because you didn't disappear. You rebuilt, still working on it. Well, she said, Derek's name isn't on the sign-up list. I smiled, didn't ask. Yeah, but I know you care. Back at the track, Coach handed me a weighted vest. What's this? Pain? Awesome. You want the miles to feel easier on race day. Make them harder now. I put it on. How much does it weigh? Just enough to make you question your life. During water break, she sat beside me. You still think about her? Not like before. How so? She used to be the reason I ran, and now it's just something I outran. That night, I slept without waking. No dreams, no calls, just silence. The following week, Kara texted a photo of my name on the official roster. Below it, Ethan. Callan, bib number 2807. Then another message. Proud of you. I stared at it a long time. Jordan bumped into me at the office kitchen. You got sponsors yet? I laughed. I can barely afford good shoes. She handed me a protein bar. Consider this your first deal. Coach pulled me aside. You're not just running a race, Ethan. You're writing an ending. To what? To the chapter where she was. Your story. 6 weeks, and for the first time in forever, I didn't feel like someone who'd been left behind. I felt like someone coming back stronger. "You good?" Coach Marla asked, handing me a banana. "Define good," I muttered, pacing. "In circles. Your legs are warm, your lungs are strong, and your heart's got something to prove. That's good." "I didn't sleep." "You don't need sleep," she said. "You need fire." I nodded. "I've got that. Then burn this course down." At the start line, runners bounced in place, stretching, shaking hands. Praying Liam jogged up behind me. "You ready to become a legend?" "I'll settle for finishing. Let me dream big for you. You always do." 10 seconds. The announcer shouted. I rolled my neck, inhaled, shook my arms loose. "Don't stop," Marla said, stepping up. "No matter what you see out there, don't stop." The horn blasted. We launched. First mile crowds cheering. Adrenaline pumping. Third mile breath, sinking with the beat of my shoes. 7th miles wet, dripping. Sun burning. By mile 10, my body started asking questions my mind refused to answer. "You look solid." Someone shouted. I gave a quick thumbs dash up. I didn't see anyone I recognized until mile 20. I rounded the corner near the hydration tent. That's when I saw her, Rachel. Alone, hands folded, eyes locked on me. No sign of Derek, just her, clapping quietly. Soft smile, no sign of confidence, just something like regret. I didn't wave, didn't nod. I just looked straight ahead and ran harder. My knees screamed, a chest burned. But I didn't slow down. The crowd blurred after that. My vision tunneled, my focus narrowed one step. Okay, then another. Just like training, just like pain, just like letting go. At mile 22, Coach was waiting. "You're close." She yelled, "Don't lose it now." I saw her. I know. She was alone. "She's not your finish line." I gritted my teeth. My legs felt like bricks. Quit. My soul felt light. Freedom wasn't just ahead. It was inside me now. Night. Mile. 20-5. Spectators leaning over barricades. Kids holding signs. "Go, Ethan," someone screamed. I didn't know them, but I needed that final stretch. I locked eyes with the banner. Everything else faded. My breath, my pain, my past gone. And then step after step, I crossed the line. I collapsed on the ground, gasping. A volunteer handed me water. Someone else wrapped a foil blanket around my shoulders. Marla knelt beside me. "You did it." I didn't stop. "You didn't look back either." "No," I said, grinning, "and I never will." I dropped to my knees just past the finish line, breath gone, vision spinning, legs on fire. Coach Marla rushed over and caught me before I fully collapsed. "I got you," she said. I clung to her jacket. "I did it." "Yes, you did. I finished." "You didn't just finish," she said, tightening her grip on my back. "You left her behind." I sat on the pavement, my metal resting against my chest, sweat still pouring down my face. "I'm not crying from the pain," I said, wiping my cheeks. "I know," she whispered. "That's not pain, that's release." A volunteer offered me water. I nodded. My hands were shaking. Liam showed up seconds later. Dude. I smiled weakly. "You made it." "Made it. I've been tracking you. Live like a psycho." "You crushed it. Barely." "Nope," he said, grinning. "You crossed." That's more than she ever expected. Then I saw her, Rachel, walking slowly through the crowd. Eyes wide, mouth slightly open. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. Or maybe a version of me she never imagined. She stood a few feet away. "Ethan." I looked up but didn't move. She stepped closer. "I didn't know you could do that." Let the silence sit. She knelt beside me. "I mean it. I didn't know." I finally spoke. "You never stayed long enough to find out." Her lips parted, but nothing came out. I didn't give her more. I turned to Coach. "Can we go?" Coach helped me up. "You don't owe anyone a second ending." As we walked away, Rachel stood frozen. I didn't look back in the car. I leaned my head against the window. Coach glanced at me. "You good?" I nodded. She looked shocked. She looked late. Too late? Exactly. Back at my apartment, Liam helped me inside. "You gonna call her?" he asked. "No, she might try again." I'm not answering. He raised his brow. "Even if she apologizes, I don't need it." Later that night, my phone buzzed. "Rachel, seeing you today broke something in me." I read the message, didn't type, didn't block, just deleted it. I sat on the floor with the medal in my hand, then placed it on the table. Beside the photo I almost threw away months ago, the one of us smiling. Now it looked like a different man. Entirely. Liam called again. "You all right?" "It feels good, doesn't it?" "It feels complete." He paused. "What now?" I smiled. "I keep running, but this time not to prove anything." "Then why?" "Because I finally can." Liam called first. "She's gone." I shifted the phone. "What do you mean?" "Rachel moved out of the city. Packed everything." Kara told Sophie. Kay didn't say anything. He waited. "You okay? I thought I'd feel something." And I don't. Oh. Week later, Jordan knocked on my cubicle wall. "You see the update." "What update?" "She changed her relationship status. Single." I nodded. "Didn't even know we were watching." Everyone watches something they survived. That night, my phone buzzed. Rachel. One message. "I hope you find someone who believes in you first." I read it twice, then deleted it. No reply. No reaction. No need. The next morning, Coach Marla met me at the usual trail. "Cold today," I said. "You'll warm up." We jogged in silence. Halfway through, she stopped. "I'm retiring." I turned. "Wait. Not from life. Just from coaching." "You serious? It's time for someone else to lead." "But..." "You don't need me anymore, Ethan." I sat on the bench. "You're the reason I crossed the line." "No, I just reminded you it was there." "What'll you do now?" "Rest. Read. Maybe take up yoga." I laughed. "You'd lose your edge. I already gave it to you." Later, Liam texted, "We had the baby. Sophie says hi, and she's already crying like me." I grinned. "Congrats, man. I'll bring food. Or socks. Bring legs." I haven't slept in 2 days. I kept running every morning before sunrise. Not to outpace Heartbreak, not to erase memories, but because it felt like forward. One morning, Kara called. "I just wanted to say, I'm proud of you." "Thank you." She thought you'd crumble. She always underestimated quiet things. On a solo run through the hills, a kid on a bike passed me. "Race you." He shouted. I smiled. "You're on." He beat me by a mile, and I still felt like I won. At the coffee shop, Avery waved. "No medal today, no race today. Training always." She slid a cup over on the house. "You look like you earned it." "Still earning?" At home, I opened a new drawer. Stuffed it with running gear, medals. I paused at the photo Rachel never took with me at the finish line, then tossed it somewhere in a different city. She probably looked back, but I never did. People asked if I ever spoke to her again. I told them. There was nothing left to say. They asked if I'd forgive. I said, already did, quietly. I tied my laces, stepped outside, breathed in the air I once ran to escape, and smiled. This time, I wasn't running away. I was running home to myself. And the only one left running was me.